What's up everybody, this is Gunter Severloh. Today I have a new project for you, and it is 12 new World War II APCs and tanks. What this is a composition that I've been working on for the past couple of weeks, and I want to show you guys. Let's go to the workshop page and start there. Alright guys, here we are on the Steam workshop page for the new World War II APCs and the tank variants. Alright, so what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how this composition works and how you get it in game, and then kind of do a review of each vehicle and so forth. So just click on subscribe, and I'll see you guys back in game in the editor. We are back in game, and this composition requires IFA3, and that's it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into the editor, and I'm going to show you how this composition thing works if you don't know already. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to the top right here, click on F2, and then under F2 you're going to go to the far right here where it says custom, and click on that, and then under Steam subscribed content you're going to click on APCs, which is my composition, and you're going to click on that. So basically, to get it into the editor itself, you just click on it, it'll attach itself to your cursor, and then just make sure you have enough space, everything's flat, and just let go of the cursor, and then click to release it so it's not highlighted anymore. And this is what we have. This is what I created. So it doesn't look like much. I mean, it's 12 APCs and 2 tanks. This is what we have. I'm going to go through each variant. So you have a M3A1 half track with a M2 60mm mortar attached to it. Then we have a M4A3 Sherman tank with a 76mm Zs-3 artillery cannon attached to it. That's a Russian cannon, by the way, artillery piece. Then we have a Sd.Kfz 7.1 with an attached Flak 38. We have Opel Blitz with a Flak 38, Opel Blitz with a attached MG42, Opel Blitz with an attached mortar. And going to the back, we have an APC with an attached searchlight, another APC, a half track with a Flak 38 attached. Then we have another half track with a mortar attached, another half track with a Pak 40 attached. Then we have the Sd.Kfz 7.1 with the Pak 40 attached. And finally we have a T-3476 with the Flakvierling 38 attached to that. Alright, to see what this looks like in game, I'm going to have to place a player. I'm going to place 2 guys for now. Attach this guy to me, and then we're going to save it. We'll save that. So now we have APCs in game. So before we actually go in game, I want to show you that each one of these vehicles has some things done to it in order for this to work. So what I'm using is the attach to command to basically attach these guns to these tanks and vehicles and so forth. So if you go into the tank here, I named the tank, and then I have this code, this animate source, and this basically removes the turret of the tank. This code here locks the turret, basically the cargo, so nobody can get into it. And then I have an add action that you'll see in your action menu when you walk up to it. It basically tells you get into the ZI3 gun or seat, and then have a code that allows you to get into it. As for the gun itself, we have a name for the gun, and then we have this attached to SHRM, which is the tank, And then these are the coordinates that basically position the gun on top of the tank. This animate source is basically removing parts from the gun, and then that's basically what it does. There's only so many variants because certain tanks didn't work. I couldn't remove the turrets of them, and I also tried a half track with a Nebelwerfer. I couldn't remove the stands on them, which are these legs. And so there's a lot of different things. All right, let's get in game, and basically I'll show you these vehicles.
Smile.
All right, so I'm going to go to spectator a moment here. And as you can see, all these guns and stuff have attached themselves. So you have a mortar attached to this half track. You have our Russian artillery gun, the IFA3, attached to the Sherman. Yeah, I know there is a Sherman 76mm variant. Then you have the half track with the Flak 38 on it. Opel Blitz with the Flak 38. Opel Blitz with the MG42. Opel Blitz with the Mortar. Then you have a half track with the Spotlight. The half track with the Flak 38 to it. And I'm going to show you something in a minute that I'll point out after I go through these. And we have a half track with the Mortar. Half track with the Pak 40. We got the APC half track with the Pak 40. And then we have the T3476 with the Flakvierling 38. One thing I want to point out to you guys is if you notice, there's this sticking out. It's the MG42 that's on the half track. Now I tried everything to remove this gun, and I looked up codes. I went to the config viewer. I talked to a couple guys on Discord, and for the life of me I could not remove the gun. So it kind of breaks the immersion. I'm sorry, but there's nothing I can do about it. There's some other oddities with these vehicles, but they do work. It's just, it is what it is. Same goes for this. You can see the gun there. It's kind of annoying, but either way, the half track still works. These seem fine. And the rest of them worked pretty well. Alright, so let's test them out. I'll show you how this works. So basically, when you come up here, you know, you got your normal functions for the APC. You can get in the driver and stuff. And then if you look at your action menu, it'll say get in mortar because this particular half track has a mortar. So basically, you just get in mortar. It takes you right to the mortar. Now this particular half track, let me zoom in here and get a different angle. Now as you can see, the problem with these half tracks, I'll show you on the other ones, is the player, even the AI, if you put them in there, will clip through the wall. So it's, I don't want to say it's a bug, but the thing is, you're attaching a gun to a vehicle, and the gun is not part of the vehicle, so you're not, essentially it doesn't have a cargo that you go into, which is inside the vehicle. So it's, I don't know what to do here. I'm kind of a rookie at basically coding, but this is about as good as it gets. But the mortar does work, and you could prep the rounds, you could load the rounds, you know, you could look down at the mortar and you could shoot it. You could also go into the artillery computer, so that does work. It does work. Now getting out, I usually have a shortcut key that I use for getting out. Let's check out the next one. So here we have the T3476 with the Flakvierling. This is the same deal. The tank still has its functions, but the function to get in as commander, the commander or the gunner, has been disabled. I figured out a code for that. So if you wanted to get in as the gunner, just scroll your action manual, you see it, get in as Flakvierling 38 gunner, and you'll be automatically put in there. So there's no animation like climbing on or anything, but this is basically where you're at. It doesn't look very immersive, you know, it is what it is. And I tried the best I can, but the gun does work. Now, if you wanted to get out, you know, you could get out that way. The problem is if you use your action menu to get out, then this may happen. I usually use a hotkey. So what I suggest in this position is basically you do a step over and you'll get out fine. Yeah, it sucks, but again, it is what it is. Alright, let's check out this half track, and this has your normal functions to it. The only thing I removed on this was the back gate here, and then you can get into the pack 40 through the back. So just like that. I would say this is probably the more immersive of them all, because it doesn't have anything that's impeding you or whatnot, but it still has its bugs. So the gun still works. Gun does everything like it's supposed to. Just one suggestion, if you're the player and you decide to get into this gun, you see where it says push on it. This is what will happen if you push. It'll actually disconnect itself from the half track and you'll actually be able to push it, which you don't want to do because it has, it's just fucked up. Alright, so we're going to get out of this. Yeah, it's fucked up. So it just detaches itself. So I highly recommend not to do that. Alright, let's check out this. And this is the Sherman. M4A3 Sherman. So again, just like the other tank, has its normal functions and everything. And then scroll your action menu, you can get in as the ZI3 gunner. And he's more of in the turn itself. Big ass gun. And with this too, you can get into the commander seat, but I wouldn't recommend it because then you get this. So I don't know how to close that so you can't access that. If you're gonna get out of this, I use a hotkey for this for getting out. That's one way to do it. That's probably more efficient. Alright, as for these half tracks, we got the Flak 38. Pretty cool. And then we have this guy, pack 40. This is normal half track. You can get in as driver. You cannot, as you notice, you cannot get in as the machine gunner, even though the machine gun is there. Again, I tried everything possible to remove the gun. It just won't remove. So you can get into the pack 40, and the gun still works. I use a hotkey to get out. Otherwise, if you scroll your action menu and then do that and get out, that it should work as well. Alright, so we have here the APC with the mortar, and you aren't really opening the doors on this one to get in the mortar. You're just basically getting in the mortar. The problem with this is you have this, which really breaks the immersion right here. And I don't know what to do about that. The mortar still does work. It's kind of, yeah, it breaks the immersion. It sucks. Again, I don't know what to do about that, but the mortar does work. You know, you could still prep the rounds, you could still load the rounds, and you still have the artillery computer. So if you wanted to use it as kind of like a stationary vehicle when you're fighting, you could use it as transport. And that's what happens. This you should be able to get into the commander seat. So that's normal. And then of course we have the Opel Blitz with the Flak 38. We have the APC with the Flak 38. Again, you can get into the Flak 38 from anywhere. And yeah, there's some clipping. Yeah, I'm stuck, so just do a step over and you'll get out of it. You'll be fine. Here we have the searchlight. Searchlight is for nighttime, obviously. When you move around, you know, you may clip through the walls. It's a given. And the other thing is, when you're in one of these vehicles, you may see the action for getting into the searchlight or Flak 38 or Pack 40 as you're in the vehicle too, and you won't be able to get out of it. So again, do a step over, you'll be fine. Then we have the mortar. Get in mortar, and again, just like the APC, you're outside the thing. The gun still works. And then we have the MG42 attached to the Opel Blitz. So you just get into the MG42, and that seems pretty immersive. I had to move it up so that it would look like that. I tried the other one, but now you can notice that it says get in MG42. Well, you're already in it, so. But so it still works. And you get out, you'll be in the back of the truck, and you'll probably be floating. So I just suggest do a step over, and you'll be out of it. Alright, so I want to show you one more thing, and this is with the AI. That's why I put the AI in there. Let's pick a vehicle.
2, gehen Sie zu, südwestlich von... Zu Befehl.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to drive this. Now, if you are going to play with AI, this is why I didn't put AI in it, but basically you could just point at the MG42 and he should get into it without issues. So that's part of it.
2, aussteigen.
The other thing is, let's try half track. That's ideally, see, he has the same issue, and that's, yeah, so he'll get out of there. Hopefully he doesn't get killed or something, but alright, so that's what I suggest is
2, als Schütze auf Maschinengewehr, aufsitzen.
aim at the gun that you intend to put them in, and he'll get into it. So it's still kind of pretty cool. It still has some immersion factor, some of them at least, that I found actual variants of World War II vehicles in real life. I would like to have done more, but just some things I was unable to remove.
2, aussteigen. 2, als Schütze auf Maschinengewehr, aufsitzen.
Sometimes it's better just to do the stuff yourself. At least with this it works. And you get into the tank.
Aussteigen.
Yeah, he'll get out eventually. Alright guys, so that's basically it. That's kind of how that works. I'm sorry this couldn't be more efficient or more immersive or without issues. It is what it is. Actually, one more thing. If you're in a vehicle, let's say this one, and you're the driver and you wanted to switch to the gun, where you scroll your action menu and you hit that, nothing will happen. You're going to have to actually get out of the gun in order to get in the gun in the back, because the thing is, this attached gun is not part of the vehicle. It doesn't have a contained cargo within the vehicle itself where you could just switch to it like a tank. So if we take this tank for example, and I'm the driver, as you can see, if I turn out, doesn't matter, but as you can see, I have get in as ZI3 gunner in my action menu. So if I hit that, nothing will happen, because again, the gun is not part of the tank where it's inside the tank, like it's one unit, like it's cargo of the tank. So basically you have to get out of it and get into the gun itself and then go from there. This works okay with the AI. I found the AI not able to shoot the guns for some reason unless you tell them to specifically target. And lastly, I think this is ideal for like if you're playing co-op and stuff. That way you could have a player driving and then another player as the gunner and whatever other spots there are on the vehicle. So I want to conclude the video with that. I hope you guys enjoy that, find these useful. I'm sorry this couldn't be any more immersive or not have the bugs and stuff. I don't know what else to do here. I'm still a rookie at coding and stuff, and it's not really my thing. So I want to thank you guys for watching. I will catch you guys on the next video. Bye.